everyone! So I wasn't going to do this vlog for a while until we had covered more of the basics of cosplay, but it's one of the most requested things that I got, being like, Cyrene, can you please talk about how to do your makeup for cosplay, because I have no idea how to do it. And I was like, okay. I'm going to put a disclaimer right now. I am not a makeup guru in any way. What you're going to notice right away with this video is that I don't use expensive makeup. Personally, if I have $40, I would rather spend it on a new wig than makeup. And I found that a lot of the cheap stuff actually works just as well as the more expensive stuff. So you'll see super cheap brushes and super cheap generic Chinese makeup that's probably going to give me cancer. Anyway, on to why you need to wear makeup for cosplay. Because an argument I hear a lot right away is, but my character looks like they're not wearing makeup, so I shouldn't wear makeup, right? No. That's not how it works. You'll see me without makeup in a second, and brace yourselves, because something that cameras like to do are pick out all of our flaws and make us look really bad. So this is why if you get a picture back from a convention and you look totally horrible in it and you're like, no way, I looked in the mirror and I looked fine, it's the camera's fault. But that's what makeup's for, because we can do stuff to correct that. Another thing that I hear a lot is from guys who cosplay and they're like, I don't need to wear makeup, I'm a man. And then they look really awful in their pictures and don't understand why. So if you are a guy, it is important that you wear makeup too. I'm not saying do the blush and the mascara and the lipstick and all that jazz. I'm talking about a nice, even foundation so that your skin looks good on camera. And when it comes to foundation, you can pretty much follow what girls do. At least make sure you're using cover-up and some sort of foundation. When it comes to makeup, you really want to find a system that works for you and your skin, because surprise, everyone's skin is completely different. So again, this tutorial is just what I do for my cosplay makeup. It may not work for you at all, but hopefully you can learn a thing or two from this and use it to develop your own makeup routine. So I'm just gonna launch right into it. I'm kind of nervous about being on camera without makeup, but don't judge me too much, but enjoy! So right off the bat, you can see why you need makeup. That is why, when you're not wearing makeup, you always tend to look much worse than you do in real life whenever you're caught on camera. Before I get started with any of my makeup though, I like to do a few other things first. I strongly recommend putting your wig cap on now. I'm actually going out later today and I need my hair to look relatively nice. I'm just gonna be pulling it up and getting it out of my face. Now I look like a bird. At this point, if I'm going to be wearing contacts, which I usually do, this is also when I put them on because then I don't mess up any of my eye makeup while I'm fidgeting with them. Also, if you're wearing fake eyelashes, this is a good time to put them on. For this tutorial, I'm going to be wearing Eye Fairy circle lenses. They are super crystal blue, if I'm remembering correctly. Alright, lenses are in. I am 20% more kawaii. Alright, so now on to the actual makeup part. Before I do anything else, I like to start with a coat of primer so that everything has a nice even base to start with. Using CoverGirl and Olay Simply Ageless. I usually use my fingers, and a lot of people say that you shouldn't use your fingers for makeup application, but that's actually okay to do as long as you make sure your fingers are clean and you wipe them off between different products. So I've got my primer on, I'm just smearing it around my skin, making sure it all goes in evenly. Next, I like to do primer on my eyes before I do my eye makeup, and for this I'm using e.l.f. This stick was around like $2. So it has two ends, one is a highlighter and one is a concealer, and I actually found that the highlighter works better as a primer for your eyelids. I put a dot under each eye, and the sun just came out so the lighting changed. And then I do a dot on each eyelid. And what this does for your eyelids is it creates a nice surface that the eyeshadow and all of your other eye makeup can stick to. Next, I am using a product called BB Cream. There are hundreds of different brands you can try, and don't think that you have to order an Asian brand. There's actually a lot of English companies that are starting to come out with their own, like Garnier and Clinique. I've recently started using Skin 79 Super Plus BB Cream. I ordered it from Amazon. It's like $5.99 with shipping. It's $12.99 total, and I love this stuff. Usually if I'm using regular liquid foundation like this stuff from CoverGirl, which is what I used previously, my face would get that really like greasy look to it throughout the day as that makeup wore off. But with this stuff, all day, no issues. Make sure when you're applying foundation that you bring it down your neck. You don't want that like very definite line between your face and your neck. One thing I like about this stuff is that it doesn't feel super heavy on my skin. I found a lot of liquid foundations, including that one by CoverGirl, feel really heavy, and I feel like I'm wearing a mask when I have it on, but this stuff, it's just super light, and it works so well. I definitely recommend finding a BB cream that works for you. This may not work for you. I'd recommend trying it if you have really oily skin like I do. I love this stuff. Buy some. For this tutorial, I'm just doing a very, very basic neutral color palette. I'm not doing anything super outrageous because what your eye makeup looks like can really depend on your character. For example, if you're cosplaying Asami from Legend of Korra, she has the really lovely purple eyeshadow going on, but if you're cosplaying Korra, she's not wearing eyeshadow. What I'm using is this color palette from Clinique. It has 4 different colors: Lucky Penny, Night Plum, Clementine, and Pink Chocolate. I'm just going to be using the Lucky Penny shade. It is a really nice base color, I think. It just adds a little bit of definition to your eyes without being super obnoxious. Then to help define the crease a little bit, I am taking the Night Plum shade, which is the dark purple right there, and I'm just putting it on the very tip of the brush and applying it to the crease, just kind of giving it a little shadowy effect. And this will just help add extra definition to your eyes on camera. Finally, I'm going to be highlighting this upper brow bone area, and I'm using a generic Revlon eyeshadow. It's number 003 Pink Innocence, and you can just get it at Target, CVS, Walmart. This just helps to highlight, add definition, all that fun stuff. One of the cool things about my face is that I have kind of dark circles up here, and my nose is very big, so it likes to create shadow there. And I like to use a neutral eyeshadow, like a very, very skin-colored one, and just apply that there to kind of even things out. For that, I like to use Sally Girl eyeshadow, and you can get this at Sally's Beauty Supply. It is 99 cents per little thing. Taking that really lightly and putting it on the inner corners. So now base eyeshadow is done, and now onto the fun part of eyeliner. So there's a lot of different ways you can do your eyeliner. I know some people like gel liner, some people like just using a charcoal stick. I personally like the look of liquid eyeliner when it comes to cosplay because you can do a really, really defined shape. And for that, I like to draw a line out here, and then I just draw a thicker line above that. So automatically you can see one eye looks a lot more anime and kawaii than the other one. And this is just simple, basic, gives you a bit of a dolly eye effect, and it's pretty easy to do. So there you go, it's just very basic. Then I like to add definition under my eyes as well. Some people use liquid eyeliner for this. I really don't like to because it tends to smudge super easily when I'm doing it. So for that, I just use a basic charcoal eyeliner, and this is actually super, super cheap. I found it at a beauty supply store in Chicago. I don't even know what brand it is. It's like NK Auto Eyeliner or something. So I recommend buying something a little better quality than this. What I do is I just start where my lashes start and just pull this along the bottom as close to my eye as I can get. Last part of the eyes is the lashes, and again, if you're already wearing fake lashes, at this point you're just going to be blending those into your real lashes, but I'm not wearing any right now. My everyday mascara is the generic Maybelline. I'm sure you've seen this, but for cosplay I like a super huge, like really dramatic eyelash because that's what anime characters have. And I found this super cheap mascara at the same beauty supply store that I found my eyeliner, and it's from China, and it's NK again. It was $1. I'm pretty sure it's going to give me cancer or something and cause my eyes to fall out of my face. But it works so well, and I love it. And for that, I just start at the base of my eyelashes and pull upwards. Some people like to curl their lashes using an eyelash curler. I'm far too lazy for that. And I apologize, the lighting kind of changed in my video. It got cloudy all of a sudden. I really hope it doesn't thunderstorm because you all know how much I hate thunderstorms. So there we go. Super anime kawaii eyes. Alright, so now back to foundation. And guys, this is where you can tune back in. Even with the BB cream, you can still sometimes see acne sticking out. I'm pretty sure my camera's not going to pick it up, but I know I have a few spots. So what I use for that is CoverGirl Smoothie. And this is just a really basic cover stick. And there's tons of different cover-up products. I recommend finding one that you really like and that works for your skin. The best part is that it works really well under the eyes too, and for that I just take a swipe. I just smooth it in, and that just really gets rid of any under eye circles that I have from not sleeping, and that I just have naturally as a human being. One important thing for cosplay is contouring your features. For contouring, I use this bronzer by Clinique. It's number 03 Sun Blush. I take it really lightly, just barely there on the brush. To define your cheekbones, you can suck in your face and then you'll see a natural line where your cheekbones are, and you'll just want to drag the brush along that. So kind of make a fishy face. This is called the rule of 3, where you go from your temple to your cheekbone and then down your neck. So you're basically making a backwards 3, and that just helps define your cheekbone. So you can see over here is very, very undefined. It's just round because I have a round face, but over here it looks like I have nice cheekbones. So, and again, make sure you're dragging this down your neck so there's no like defined line at your chin. And now I like to do a final coat of powder before I do my blush. For a while I was using just CoverGirl loose powder. I like it. It worked pretty well, but then Cortoon introduced me to this amazing product. It's called Airspun powder, and it's the brand Coty, and they have been around for decades. It's just this very, very fine powder, and you buff it on your skin, and it looks like you just airbrushed your skin. So I'm going to show you guys that. And it comes with a powder puff, which I know a lot of people like to use. I just don't for some reason, because I'm a freak. I just buff that into my skin. And again, start on the neck and move upwards. And it smells like old roses and old ladies. But oh, this stuff photographs so nicely because there's no like sparkle to it, so it doesn't make your face shiny. It just looks amazing. There's a reason they've been around for 40 years. It's really important to wear blush. I just picked up this palette from Rimmel London, got it at Target, I think for $4 or something. And it has 3 different colors. There's light pink, kind of a coral pink, and then a bright pink. For a day-to-day basis, I usually stick to this side of it because I don't like anything super dramatic. But for cosplay, it can be really helpful to have the bright pink cheeks because then it'll really show up on camera. If you don't know how to apply blush, what you do is you smile, and then where the apples of your cheeks are, that's how you apply it. So, and I like to do just a nice circle motion and then pull it back across my face. And you can see how dramatically pink that is. And if that is too ridiculous for you, because it's a little ridiculous for me even for cosplay, you can take more of your Airspun powder and just apply that over it. And that'll help blend it in a little more. And if that is still too pink for you, what you can do is take more of that champagne eyeshadow, put a little on your finger, and highlight the tops of your cheeks. But I found that when it comes to cosplay photography, it's always better to have a little too much on than too little. Finally, lips. You can find lipstick in pretty much every shade. I really, really like the Revlon brand. And usually you can just find your lipstick shade, use it right off the stick. But I want to show you guys this trick that I learned recently. Oh my god, my dog is barking. What I'm using for this is Revlon 580. It is Snow Silver Rose. Doesn't that sound so Mary Sue? It is super bright pink. I don't want my lipstick that bright. So what I'm going to do is put it on my finger and just put it on super lightly. So there, just a light pink color that I got from this super bright pink. And this can be really helpful to know if you're like, if you forgot your lipstick and you don't have the exact shade you want, you can control it. And then one last thing I like to do is I don't like a matte lip. I like it to have a little bit of shine to it, so I usually add a gloss of some sort. I have no idea what brand this is, but it tastes really good. It tastes like strawberries, and boyfriends in the past have really enjoyed it. So I'm just going to put this on really lightly. So there you go, just a very basic cosplay makeup that will look very good on camera. And again, you can customize this however you see fit, but for the most part, cosplay makeup, when it comes to foundation, you want to find a routine that works really well for you and also shows up nicely on camera. So I hope that helped. If you have any questions about what I did for my makeup, or anything in this tutorial, or if you have specific questions for your own makeup, feel free to ask me. I know I've gotten a lot of questions asking for tutorials on people with darker skin and what they can do for their cosplay makeup. I personally don't really feel comfortable doing tutorials on that because, spoilers, I don't have dark skin. So in that case, I suggest looking for a makeup guru on YouTube that has a similar skin tone to you and then following their makeup advice. But again, there are hundreds of different ways to do your makeup for cosplay. Find one that works for you, and don't be afraid to experiment. So don't be afraid of makeup. I'm not saying you have to wear it every day to look pretty or anything like that, but give it a try, especially for cosplay. It is super, super helpful. But anyway, happy cosplaying, and yeah, I still haven't come up with a better way of closing these, so bye!